When you put material things over everything else, it's equivalent to selling your soul. Okay? Because your soul wasn't designed to be worshiping and honoring material things. Okay? Anyway, let us go. So let's say, for an instance, there are doctors, right? Doctors take care of people. We also know that, well, some of us may have known that in times gone by, maybe in our original culture, I should say, we used to have doctors not to make money, but to be of service to the people, to make sure that the people are healthy and they are strong and everything like that. And they eat the right stuff, taking care of the people's health. And it was always like an honor for a doctor to do that. Now, living in our society as it is now, we know that if you have to go to the doctor, you have to pay some money. And most of the time, it is a lot of monies you have to pay to the doctors. Okay? And if you don't have those kind of money, there is a whole possibility that this doctor would not attend to you. Okay? Now, that is how it is in our society. If you have maybe a grave operation to take, or you need to take an operation, maybe to save your own life, and it will cost you a whole lot of money. If you doesn't have the money, there is a whole possibility that you will die because you doesn't have the money to pay for the operation. Right. There is a lot of people that find themselves in this situation. No money, no love situation. Okay? Now, while we are on doctors, let us take a look at the pharmaceuticals, the pharmacies, the people who make the drugs and stuff like that. Now, we live in this part of the earth where I do believe we does not get the best quality drugs and stuff for our people. Honestly, I do believe that. I believe that most of the drugs and stuff we get in this part of the world, third world countries and African countries and stuff like that, most of them usually be drugs to be tested. So they bring it and they test it on you like a guinea pig. Okay? I believe that is exactly what has been happening. Anyway, the situation is this. When you take those people drugs, you don't get healed. Because if they give you drugs that could heal them, heal you, when you got healed, they wouldn't be selling more drugs again. Because there wouldn't be any need to do that. So they will give you drugs that will make you feel better for 6 months, make a money on you in 6 months, and then you comes back again, and then they give you another drug to make you feel better for another 6 months until you die, and they take all your money. Same thing. And the doctors and the pharmaceutical people, they work together. So when you go to the doctor now, and the doctor prescribe the drug for you, which most of the time they know it is trial drug. It's drug that they're just testing, because he will give you a drug and tell you, go home, take that for a week, and depends on what happens, then you come back and tell me. That's trial and error. You understand? Question is, they will charge you for the drug, the full price for the drug, and for the attendance also. That's what they do. It's all about money. They don't care what they give you. Once you take it, you pay for it, then they could use you for a year or two. That does happen with people with terminal illnesses. They know that the people may die or whatever it is, though sometimes they say you will die and you don't. But then sometimes they know your situation is beyond drugs, but they still tell you you have to buy X amount of drugs to make money from you. It's wicked. You see? But they are doing that to protect their jobs. Their so-called jobs. Right? And that is what is happening in our world. Now, we look at people like lawyers and magistrates and those people who sit there. Before, in ancient days, you have these people used to do their work not to get rich or to do it to get a lot of material things. No. They used to do their job as a service to their community. So they could resolve situations and keep the thing rolling smoothly. Right now, it is not like that. It's about a hustle. Whether you're a magistrate, lawyer, whosoever. So if somebody harm you, you get a lawyer. The lawyer might help you get justice. But then if you harm somebody and you get that same lawyer, that lawyer could help you escape justice. So the whole thing is twisted. So what they do, they are hoping that people hurt this one and these people hurt this one. So all this way of thinking, invoking a lot of evil in our community because people trying to save their jobs. You understand? So if nobody commit crimes, then it wouldn't have no need for lawyer. It wouldn't have no need for all this policing and stuff like that. And those people like money and they like material things. So whatever means necessary, they will try to ensure that the crime commit. And likewise the doctor and the pharmaceuticals, they will try to make sure that people get sick. You see, it's the truth, right? It's the truth. And that is happening all over, right? In places like the US, you find that they need people in the prison because the prison is big business in the US. So they need to supply the prison with fresh blood every time to keep this monopoly moving, because they are making a whole lot of money from imprisoning a lot of black people, because black people are very strong. So they know that we could work hard. So they try to jail us as much as possible. And those they feel we might get away from jail, they might try to shoot us on the street and stuff like that. Okay? So anyway, very recently, which was maybe about a week or two ago, right? It was found that the FBI police in the US planted a container filled with Nike shoes and other things that black people wear and in the community. So they put all these shoes in this container and they leave the container just slightly ajar, enough so anybody passing could see what is inside the container. Okay? But the reason they put it there is that they wanted a whole lot of black people, because it is in our neighborhood they usually do these things. They don't do it in their neighborhoods. So when they put it in this our neighborhood, we will go and take in sneakers, and the police are there to arrest all the young men and whosoever they could catch, to supply the jail with people, our people. But as our Elohim would have it, There was a brother who saw the action and find it was looking suspicious, who went around and with his camera, and keeping it on a low, and watching all the movements with his truck. Eventually, the company they were working with, that is who the police were working with, in supplying the stuff, they had to apologize and say they would not do that again. Okay, that is a fact. Another thing that is a fact that happened straight out of the US, and that is especially in the Chicago area, where you hear that a lot of black people is killing black people. They're talking about black and black crime, and stuff like that. But these days, you can't be sure about everything you hear about these places, because we know of white people who putting on black um, mask, like all they are looking black, and black mask looking like black men, and going and rob people and kill people. So we can't definitely show that all the killings that has been taking place, only involve black people. So then it could be white people putting on masks and killing black people. Because I don't have to be read and spell for you anymore, because you already know, or you're supposed to know at this point, that these people have no love for you whatsoever. And it doesn't matter how much they laugh with you, it doesn't matter how much they grin with you, it does not matter how much work they give to you. These people, they don't like you. And if you get caught up thinking that because they move good with you, they like you, you're in for a rude awakening one of these good days. Okay? What I'm telling you is not to go hating people. What I'm telling you is for you to be aware. You understand? If you see a cobra snake, cobra snakes are very poisonous, but nobody's telling you to go hitting a cobra snake. But then you have to be aware. So anyway, what happened is this, that they realized that in Chicago, the news came out that the same people in the government were bringing in crates of guns and dropping it off in strategic areas in Chicago. And when they drop these guns off there, nobody, basically just like if nobody knows to do it, but they drop the guns, and when they drop the guns, what you'll realize is that people will find the guns, and they would keep the guns. Right? So I guess as much most of you maybe heard or know of the crimes that is happening in Chicago. Right? It's like it's unbecoming now. You understand? So they drop a lot of guns there. And that is what these people and them always do in our communities. They drop guns. And the guns are, let's say, the weapons of destruction could come in many different ways. I've seen it come in crack cocaine in our community. Right? There wasn't crack cocaine. You didn't used to be seeing jigs of people, like real addicted people on the street. You didn't see that before 1983. But after 1983, the place was flooded with cocaine. That was to destroy our young men, make them don't feel like having a revolution anymore, make them useless. You see a lot of that. Okay? It comes also in the form of their programs, like their family planning and stuff like that. All that is their weapons of destruction. Those weapons that they put in our society, in our community, to get rid of us. So they tell you in a nice way that we have a family planning program for you. And you self like nice words. But little do you know, this family planning program is an extermination program. You understand? Now, most people might doubt or whatever it is, it's up to them. What I'm gonna say is this, that if you notice that a lot of our people and women usually have fibroids and stuff like that, and to me, most of the sicknesses that our women are having is always in the womb. A lot of in the womb. Womb. You understand? So if you have to make your children, there is a possibility they could get shot. But then they're trying to hit the root of your children by hitting you in the womb. So they give you all this family planning bullshit. You understand? So you'll get all kind of disease in your womb. So it's either you make sick children or you are not able to make children at all. So those are the things these people do. And they're making good money. You're paying for your death. You're paying for your extermination. So they're killing you and they're getting richer for you still. That is excellent slavery. Okay? So these people will do anything to save their job, and their job is to get rich and to destroy you. That's what they come here for. And you have to know that. You have to be aware of that. As I said earlier, I'm not gonna tell you this because I want you to hate anybody. But then you have to be aware of the enemies that surrounds you. We have to, at all times. Right? Because these people doesn't care about your life. They don't. Your life means nothing to them. You see, just like how a white cop could just watch a black child, 10 or 11 years, with a toy gun in his hand and just shoot him. What kind of people do things like that? You know? What kind of people will see a man running away from them and still shoot him in the back of the head? What kind of people do that? And the only people they do that to is our people. You see guys kill how much people in churches, or black churches, and wherever, and they treat this guy with the utmost respect because he is white and he is one of theirs. When it is our people, you don't have to do anything. One nasty white woman just have to call and say there is a black man looking treacherous or looking threatening, and they come with their guns out and they're ready to kill. You know how much time these same white women cause black men to get killed? A lot. Even in slavery. You understand what I'm saying? Even in slavery, when they see a strong black man, they want to have sex with the black man, and if the black man refuse them, then they go and tell master the black man is rude to them. Master will kill that. It's the same thing these people are doing up to now. They never change. They treat our women the same way. They never change. So I don't see why we can't sit and actually look at the situation and realize that we are at war. Yes, we are. Okay? We are at war with everything about these people. Their schooling, the education. Even the education is designed to mess up your head. You understand? To make you a numbskull. Their education. We have to do better than that, my people. We must. Be careful of these people. They will do anything to hold up their status, to keep their jobs, to keep their money flowing. They will do anything. These people have no compassion. It only look as if it is compassion, but it is not. At least not for you. It doesn't have. So anyway, I hope that short video was a little edifying. If it is, So be at peace and be blessed. I will most definitely see you in another video. May the spirit of Yahuwah rest upon you and your family. Peace.
This is the live world. Yeah. Wandering Lion. JRS. I wanted them.